Welcome students. In today's module, we are going to study the physical and chemical properties of the phenols. Let us start with physical properties of the phenol. The physical properties of the phenols is mainly due to two different functional groups. One is aryl group, second one is hydroxyl group. Aryl group, which is going to modify the properties of the complete molecule, whereas hydroxyl group is the one which is going to contribute for the properties of the phenol. Some of the important properties we are going to study are boiling point, solubility. Let us start with boiling point. The boiling point of the phenols will be increased as the number of carbon atom increases. Already you have studied in haloalkanes, haloarenes as well as alcohols. As the number of carbon atoms increases, the boiling point increases. Same concept will be applied in case of phenols also. The phenols are having the boiling points higher than that of the haloalkanes and haloarenes. It is mainly due to the intermolecular hydrogen bond which is present in the phenol molecules. In case of phenol molecules, we are having intermolecular hydrogen bonding, whereas in haloalkanes and haloarenes, we don't have any kind of intermolecular hydrogen bonding. Now, second property, that is your solubility. The solubility of the phenol in water is high. That means phenols are water soluble. The main reason for the solubility in water is due to intermolecular hydrogen bond which is going to form between phenol and water molecule. There is every possibility the new bond will be formed, that is hydrogen bond between water and phenol molecules, due to which solubility will be increased. Now let us compare the solubility of the phenol and alcohols. The phenol solubility in water is less as compared to that of the alcohols. That means alcohols are more readily soluble than that of the phenol. Now we'll see for the some of the chemical properties of the phenols. First one, the chemical properties or the chemical reaction involving the cleavage of OH bonds, that is acidity of the phenols. In case of alcohols also you have studied, alcohols on reacting with metals like sodium, potassium and aluminium, they form corresponding metal alkoxides by breaking the OH bond, that is acidic nature of the alcohols. Similarly here, phenols, when they have reacted with metals like sodium, potassium and aluminium, the bond is broken down to form corresponding metal phenoxides along with removal of the hydrogen gas. Let us see in the form of a reaction. Phenol reacting with sodium metal giving rise to sodium phenoxide along with the hydrogen gas. In case of alcohols, the reaction with metal was the only one reaction which was showing alcohols are slightly acidic in nature. But in case of phenols, it is not so. Phenols also react with the alkali like sodium hydroxide and potassium hydroxides. Let us see one of the example. Phenols on reacting with sodium hydroxide gives corresponding sodium phenoxide along with the water. See here in the reaction, phenol having containing H and here OH was there, it was removed as the water and ONA will be formed, that is sodium phenoxide. This shows phenols are more acidic compared to that of the alcohols. Alcohols does not react with the base. Phenols will react with the base. Alcohol acidity can be proved only by one method, that is reaction with a metal, whereas phenols acidic nature can be explained by reaction with metal as well as the base. Next, phenols are Bronsted acids. What are Bronsted acids? Last year you studied, which donates a proton. Any substance or a molecule which donates a proton can be referred as Bronsted acids. That means phenol can donate a proton to a stronger base. Let us take one base like B minus, which on reacting with ROH, where R is aryl and OH is phenol, which is going to act as an acid. It will takes up the proton forming BH, which is a conjugated acid, and RO minus, which is a conjugate base. Next one, acidity of the phenol is mainly due to OH group in the phenol, which is directly attached to sp2 hybridized carbon of the benzene ring. As you know, sp2 hybridized carbon is there, it will be more electronegative in nature, because first year you have studied, as the percentage S character increases, electronegativity increases. As the electronegativity of that carbon has been increased due to percentage S character, it will easily pull the electron towards itself, due to which the removal of the proton will become more and more easy. Hence, OH containing oxygen will be electron withdrawing group, and it will withdraw the electron, and removal of the proton will become easy. Due to the electron withdrawing nature, the charge distribution in the phenol molecule is going to give the different resonating structures. The resonating structures of the phenol we have seen already last year. Let us see once again. Initially, the phenol containing two lone pair of electrons. Phenol containing two lone pair of electrons. Now, during the first resonating structures, the electron pair will be shifted towards carbon and oxygen. Now a new bond has been formed here, and this carbon will be containing the 5 bonds if the new bond has been formed. So a pi bond will be shifted towards the carbon like this. So we are going to get the negative charge on the ortho position. Now look at this carbon, it is unstable, hence it will donate the electron to the next carbon atom to form a new bond. But when the new bond has been formed, we are going to get the 5 bonds for this metacarbon, hence this pi bond will be shifted at the para position, and para carbon is going to get the negative charge. The chain will be continued as it is. The para carbon will donate the electron towards the next carbon, and next carbon will move the pi electron to give a negative charge at ortho position. Now the continuously resonance is going to take place, and at the end we are going to get the final structure like this, where the pi bond position was different, or the double bond position is different. Along with that, if you carefully observe during the resonance structures, we are going to get the positive charge over the oxygen. We are going to get the positive charge over the oxygen. The first structure was not having any kind of charges, it was neutral. But here positive, negative, positive, negative, positive and negative charge, that is charge separation, is seen in case of resonating structures with oxygen carrying the positive charge Remember. When oxygen is carrying the positive charge, that is the most electronegative atom of the molecule carrying the negative charge. Most electronegative atom of the molecule carrying the negative charge will destabilize the molecule. Remember, very important, oxygen is the most electronegative atom in the phenol which is carrying the negative charge, hence molecule will become destabilized. Next, phenols are stronger acids than alcohol. It can be proved by two methods. First one, ionization of an alcohol. Let us take example. When alcohol is ionized, we are going to get the alkoxide, whereas phenol is ionized to give the phenoxide ion. In case if I prove that phenoxide ion is more stable, then I can say that the ionization of the phenol will be easy. Hence, phenols are more stronger acids than alcohols. The second one I can show by the ionization of phenol will be easier than that of the ionization of the alcohol. Two methods. One is with respect to ionization, second one is with respect to stability of the phenoxide ions. First we will see with the ionization. Because of the higher electronegativity sp2 carbon attached to oxygen, that is OH in case of phenol, the electronegativity will be more at the carbon. When the electronegativity will be more towards the carbon, the electron movement will take place from oxygen to carbon. From oxygen to carbon, electron movement will be taking place. As the oxygen is donating the electron towards the benzene ring, the electron density between the O and H will be decreased. Between these two will be decreased. So the H will be easily removed. H will be easily removed. What about here? Alkyl group. It is electron donating. It is electron donating, so electron density over the oxygen will increase. As the electron density over the oxygen increase, between O and H, the polarity will be decreased. As the polarity decreased, the ionization will become difficult to split as O minus H plus. Hence, ionization for the phenol will be easy than that of the alcohol. This is the first reason. Electron density decreases over oxygen, hence polarity of OH bond increases and ionization in phenol also increases. The second one is stability of the phenoxide ion. Phenoxide ion, which is carrying the negative charge, the charge is going to get delocalized. In case of phenol, the electrons were used to get delocalized, but in phenoxide ion, charge is getting delocalized. The delocalization of the negative charge will give different types of resonating structures which will stabilize the phenoxide ion. How we will see here. In the phenoxide ion, the negative charge is present over the oxygen and it will be shifted towards the carbon-oxygen bond. And this pi electron will be shifted to ortho position, because as the electron have been shifted between carbon and oxygen, we are going to get the new double bond. So the 5 bond will be present at a carbon and pi bond will be shifted and negative charge will be shifted to the ortho position. This ortho carbon will donate the electron like this and the pi electron will be shifted towards the para position. In the third case, the para electron will be shifted towards the carbon and pi bond will be coming on the carbon atom. Electron towards the bond and bond towards the atom. We are going to get the fourth resonating structures and finally we are going to get this molecule. If you remember, in case of phenol, starting material was neutral. Due to resonance, we used to get a charge separation, that is positive charge over the oxygen. But in case of phenoxide ion, the negative charge was there on the oxygen, which was only delocalized. There is no charge separation. As the charge separation increases, the molecule will become less and less stable. And also in case of phenol, you used to see the positive charge over the oxygen. But what about here? There is no positive charge over the oxygen. Either it is neutral or negatively charged. Hence it is a more electronegative atom containing the negative charge, molecule will become more and more stable. Hence phenoxide ion is more stable than that of the phenol. Hence phenol will be trying to exist as phenoxide ion, and it proves it is acidic in nature. Next, effect of substituent on the acidity of the phenols. Substituent groups like electron donating group and electron withdrawing groups. Let us start with the simple presence of electron withdrawing group. As you are having electron withdrawing group, the electron density over the oxygen will be decreased, and it will enhance the acidic strength of the phenol. Electron withdrawing group enhance the acidic strength of the phenol. Imagine to a benzene ring, you are having an electron withdrawing group at the ortho position. It is withdrawing the electron. Obviously, the electron will be coming from the OH, due to which on oxygen, electron density will be decreased. As the electron density will be decreased on the oxygen, automatically the removal of the proton will become easy, because proton will give the electron to the oxygen and it will go. Hence, acidic nature will be increased and acidity is increased, and it will stabilize the phenoxide ion. On the other hand, presence of electron donating group will decrease the acidic strength, because as the electron donating group is present, it will give the more and more electron towards the benzene ring. As it gives the more and more electron towards the benzene ring, it will destabilize the phenoxide ion by increasing the electron density on the benzene ring. The same concept as we have seen for the electron withdrawing group. Electron density will be more towards the benzene ring. Automatically it will be shifted towards the OH. When it is shifted towards the OH, automatically the oxygen will become more and more electron dense. Hence, it does not remove the proton. Proton will try to be intact, and the acidic nature will be decreased. Some of the important reactions with respect to OH group, they are esterification, acetylation, and electrophilic substitution reactions. Let us start with esterification reaction. Phenols, when it is reacted with acetic anhydride, as we have seen, the acetic anhydride is used for the acetylation. In the alcohol also you have seen. Phenol, when it is treated with acetic anhydride, in presence of concentrated H2SO4, we are going to get phenyl acetate along with the acetic acid as a byproduct. Phenol, CH3CO twice oxygen, that is acetic anhydride, we are going to get phenyl acetate. In this case, oxygen OH the hydrogen is removed and replaced by COCH3, that is acetyl group. Along with that, byproduct was acetic acid. Phenol on reacting with acetyl chloride. Second example, we are going to get the phenyl acetate. Here, instead of H2SO4, we have used pyridine. We will see why. In case of phenol and acetyl chloride, when the reaction takes place, I require COCH3 should be attached to oxygen. To this oxygen, COCH3 will be attached. So what else is remaining? H and here is Cl. That means HCl, hydrochloric acid, is a byproduct. Hydrochloric acid is a byproduct. But the nature of HCl is, it can break this acetyl linkage. Hence, during the reaction when HCl is produced, it has to be neutralized. To neutralize this acid which is produced during the reaction, the pyridine is used. That is the main use of the pyridine. Pyridine is used to neutralize the HCl formed during the reaction. Third one, acetylation reaction. That is introduction of acetyl groups in the phenol. Let us take one simple example, that is salicylic acid. Salicylic acid is orthohydroxybenzoic acid. If I remove the COH, it is a phenol. If I remove the COH, it is going to be a phenol, and COH is added, that is salicylic acid. When I add any one which is going to do the acetylation, like acetic anhydride or acetyl chloride, in presence of H2SO4, I am going to get acetyl salicylic acid. That is, acetylation is taking place at the OH, not at the COH. This acetylation which is taking place at the OH, that is acetic group is added to oxygen, hence it is called as O-acetylation. The same type of acetylation will be seen for the amines, where acetylation takes place at nitrogen, hence it is called as N-acetylation. In case of phenols, O-acetylation, or alcohols, O-acetylation, amines, it is going to be the N-acetylation. The byproduct is acetic acid as usual. Electrophilic aromatic substitution reaction. Benzene containing the OH, electron density will be increased at ortho and para positions. Obviously, the electrophile will be easily attacked at ortho and para position. So electrophilic substitution reaction is mainly due to the OH group, and electrophilic substitution takes place at ortho and para positions. So one of the example for the electrophilic substitution reaction, that is your nitration. Let us start with the nitration reaction in presence of dilute HNO3. In presence of dilute HNO3, when phenol is treated, the nitration takes place at ortho and para position, giving rise to two different products, that is orthonitrophenol and paranitrophenol. Orthonitrophenol and paranitrophenol, two different products will be formed in presence of dilute HNO3. The reaction, phenol plus dilute HNO3 giving rise to 2-nitrophenol, that is your orthonitrophenol, ortho position NO2, and 4-nitrophenol, that is paranitrophenol, along with the water. These orthonitrophenol and paranitrophenol, both the compounds are isomers. They can be separated by steam distillation. Ortho and para isomers can be separated by steam distillation. It is mainly due to the low volatility change of ortho and para. Ortho compound is steam volatile, whereas para one is less volatile. The main reason for this one is inter and intramolecular hydrogen bonding. The orthoisomer is having the intramolecular hydrogen bonding, whereas para-isomer is having intermolecular hydrogen bonding. What do you mean by intramolecular hydrogen bonding? The hydrogen bond is present within the same molecule. Let us see the example. Orthonitrophenol, in which the hydrogen bond is seen between oxygen of the nitro group and hydrogen of the phenol group. So between oxygen and hydrogen, a hydrogen bond is formed, new bond is formed, which is intramolecular hydrogen bonding. What about para? It is an intermolecular hydrogen bonding. That is, bond is formed between oxygen of the nitro and hydrogen of the another molecule. So intermolecular hydrogen bond is seen. Now whatever energy you have supplied, initially it is used to break this bond. Then the molecule will start evaporating. But in case of intramolecular hydrogen bonding, there is no need of the extra energy. Directly the energy will be utilized to make it volatile. Hence, para-nitrophenol is less volatile than that of the orthonitrophenol. Whereas with respect to concentrated HNO3, in case of dilute HNO3 we have got the two different products, but in case of concentrated HNO3 we are going to get only one product, that is 2,4,6-trienitrophenol. The reaction follows like this: phenol plus HNO3 concentrated, 2,4,6-trienitrophenol, that is picric acid, along with the water. Now the question may be asked, they will give the reaction, write the product. Phenol will be given, along with that concentrated or dilute HNO3 will be given, concentrated or dilute. You should look at the nature and you have to write the product. If it is a concentrated, 2,4,6-trinitro. If it is a dilute, para and ortho, two different products you have to write down. Second one is halogenation. Halogenation is also two different products with respect to different reagents. Let us take simple bromination. Bromination can be done in organic medium or in aqueous medium. That is, either organic solvent like carbon disulfide, carbon tetrachloride or chloroform. When we have used carbon disulfide or carbon tetrachloride or chloroform, the bromination will give two different products again. Phenol in bromine in carbon disulfide gives 2-bromophenol and 4-bromophenol, that is ortho-bromophenol and para-bromophenol, along with the water. The reaction is like this: phenol plus Br2 in CS2. Remember, this is very important, CS2. Not like the nitration. In nitration we were having the HNO3 concentrated and dilute, but here Br2 will remain same. The reagent which is used in which medium plays a role in for the bromination. CS2 will give ortho-bromophenol, that is 2-bromophenol, and 4-bromophenol, that is para-bromophenol. In case of aqueous solution, we are going to get tribromophenol, which is a white PPT. See here. In case of first one, we have written as CS2. Here we are writing as H2O. That is the only one difference, and the entire product will be different here. So you should be very careful when we have got the questions like nitration, bromination, like this reaction for the phenols. The question will arise, why like this? In case of nitration, when you are having the concentrated HNO3, more and more number of NO2 plus ions will be there, nitronium ion will be there. As the nitronium ion concentration increases, first ortho will take place, second nitronium ion will go and attack at the para, one more will go and attack on the ortho, because the concentration of nitronium ion is very high in case of concentrated one. Hence, the same molecule will undergo more and more electrophilic substitutions. Hence, we got 2,4,6-trianitrophenol. Whereas the concentration of nitronium ion in dilute HNO3 was less. Now coming to bromination, whenever we are having the phenol in organic solvent, ionization will be less. As the ionization is less, the charge separation is more, and negative charge tendency or the amount of negative charge on the ortho and para position will be less. Whereas in aqueous solution, already you know, phenol will exist as a phenoxide ion, which is not having the charge separation, but which is having the negative charge at the ortho and para position. So extent of negative charge will be more at ortho para ortho positions. Hence, it will easily undergo more and more substitution, and 2,4,6, that is tribromination, will take place to give 2,4,6 tribromophenol. This is the major reason for mono substitution and tri substitution in case for nitration as well as bromination. Next, some of the important name reactions, Kolb reaction and Reimer-Tiemann reactions are there. Let us start with the Kolb reaction. When phenols is reacted with sodium hydroxide, it is going to give sodium phenoxide. As you have already studied in the beginning only, sodium phenoxide will be formed when phenol is reacted with sodium hydroxide. This sodium phenoxide, when it is treated with carbon dioxide and acid, we are going to get salicylic acid. Salicylic acid is orthohydroxybenzoic acid, or 2-hydroxybenzoic acid is called as a salicylic acid. Important reaction for 2 months. Write down the reaction. Phenol with NaOH, we have got ONA, sodium phenoxide. Repeatedly sodium phenoxide is going to come. When the sodium phenoxide is reacted with CO2 and H+, we are going to get 2-hydroxybenzoic acid, that is salicylic acid. Over. Very simple reaction. The second reaction is Reimer-Tiemann reaction. In this, phenols, when it is reacted with chloroform, in presence of alkali like sodium hydroxide, we are going to get a CHO group, which is going to be introduced at ortho position. When phenol and chloroform will be reacted, we are going to get benzyl chloride, which is an intermediate. Which intermediate is further hydrolyzed in presence of alkali to give salicylaldehyde. Kolb reaction, salicylic acid. Reimer-Tiemann reaction, salicylaldehyde. Phenol with NaOH gives sodium phenoxide. Chloroform, which is further hydrolyzed in presence of NaOH and NaCl, will be removed to give rise to CHOH twice. Here you are having the 2 OH group at the same carbon. 1,1-dihydroxy compounds are highly unstable, so immediately they will undergo rearrangement with the removal of water to give CHO group. Now you are having ONA, which is further acidified to give rise to salicylaldehyde. The first reaction is common, so many times you have studied. In the second reaction, CHCl3, that is chloroform, when it is added, the CHCl2 will be added. Benzyl chloride, which is further hydrolyzed in presence of alkali. Cl will get converted into OH. 1 dihydroxy are there, so water will be removed to give rise to aldehyde. Acidification will remove the sodium and hydrogen will be introduced. In some of the reference books, you can see one more reaction of the Reimer-Tiemann name only. Instead of chloroform, here what we have used the chloroform. Instead of chloroform, if you are using the CCl4, then final product will be salicylic acid. It is for your reference. Remember, only for the competitive level you have to remember that one. In Reimer-Tiemann reaction, carbon tetrachloride if it is used, final product will be salicylic acid for competitive purpose. Next, reactions of phenol with zinc. When phenol is heated with zinc dust, we are going to get the benzene. Important for 1 mark. Phenol plus Zn, they will give right the final product. That is your zinc. Next one, oxidation reactions of phenol. When phenol is oxidized in presence of chromic acid, we are going to get a conjugated diketone, that is benzoquinone. Let us look at the reaction. Phenol with chromic acid, we have got the benzoquinone. How to remember the benzoquinone? It's very simple. In the IUPAC and classification, we have seen one example, that is phenol, where OH and OH were there. 2 OH were there at this position. 1, 4. The oxidized form of the quinol is nothing but benzoquinone. And these benzoquinones are the colored compound, because the conjugated diketones, the conjugation will give the color for this molecule. If you keep the phenol open for the air, phenol will get oxidized to give a dark colored mixture that contains quinones. That means phenol is highly oxidizable. In presence of simple air also, it will undergo oxidation to give benzoquinone. Finally, the uses of phenols. In the manufacturing of the drugs like aspirin, we have studied the aspirin reaction, that is acetylation of the salicylic acid. Orthoacetylated salicylic acid is nothing but your aspirin. Second one, it is used as an antiseptic. Antiseptic in their soaps, lotion and ointments. In the manufacturing of the picric acid, 2,4,6-trinitrophenol, picric acid manufacturing. It is also used as a preservative for ink and injectables. Injectables means injection. In the injections, we will use commonly 0.5 to 1% of the phenol as a preservative, which will extend the lifespan of the injections. From the next class, we will start with the ethers. Thank you.